Lex Luthor, Superman's arch-nemesis, one of the most brilliant men alive, whose hatred of interfering aliens pushes him down the path of a sociopath. Known for his ends justifies the means approach to life. Versus Mr. Terrific, DC Universe's third smartest man alive. Mr. Terrific embodies his Golden Age predecessor's slogan of fair play and is currently the leader of his own team, the Terrifics, a master inventor, strategist, and athlete. I'm the Shinin, and I'm here to analyze their intelligence, versatility, and psychological edge to uncover who would win in a one-on-one fight. Created by Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster, Lex made his first appearance way back in Action Comics number 23 in April of 1940. And like most comic book characters from that era, Lex Luthor has changed a lot over the decades. Originally, he was your classic mad scientist, the kind who cooked up evil schemes in a lab while Superman swooped in to foil his latest master plan. And fun fact, early Luthor had a full head of bright red hair. Yeah, Lex wasn't always the bald billionaire we know today, but as time went on, so did Luthor. He evolved into something much more layered, a corrupt, calculating businessman, a genius-level inventor, and a self-proclaimed philanthropist living in Metropolis. Oh, and one of the smartest humans on Earth. Seriously, Lex is up there with Batman and Mr. Terrific in raw brain power. But let's take a trip back, way back, to Adventure Comics number 271, where we get an origin story for Lex that might surprise you. This story takes place during Superman's teenage years, back when he was still going by Superboy, and Lex was just a teenage science prodigy living in Smallville. So here's how it starts. A meteor of kryptonite crashes to Earth, landing right next to Superboy. Naturally, the kryptonite weakens him instantly, leaving him writhing in pain. And who comes to the rescue? That's right, young Lex Luthor, who pushes the meteor into a pit of quicksand with a bulldozer, saving Superboy's life. Superboy looks up and says, "I owe you my life. What's your name?" Lex replies, "Lex Luthor. It's nice to meet you, Superboy. This is about the most thrilling thing that's ever happened to me." From that moment, the two actually become best friends. Lex even takes Superboy back to his lab and shows him his collection of Superboy photos, trophies, full-on hero worship mode. He tells him, "I've idolized you for years. You're the greatest boy in the world." Superboy, impressed by Lex's scientific talent, decides to help out. He digs up rare chemicals from underground using his super speed and gives them to Lex to use in his experiments. Weeks later, Lex tries to create an antidote to kryptonite, something that could make Superboy immune to its effects. But during one of his experiments, a fire breaks out in the lab. Superboy arrives just in time and uses his super breath to blow out the flames. But here's where things go sideways. Superboy's breath accidentally knocks over a bottle of acid, which spills onto Lex's experiment, ruining the formula and releasing gas that causes all of Lex's hair to fall out. Yep, that's how Lex Luthor goes bald. When Superboy checks on him, Lex loses it. "You rat! Your super breath ruined my life. You destroyed the only formula I could never recreate. And now, I'm bald." Superboy tries to explain. "It was an accident." But Lex doesn't believe him. "Don't lie, you were jealous of my genius. You wanted to destroy my work because you knew it would overshadow you." And that, my friends, is the moment Lex Luthor's hatred for Superman is born. He smashes his Superboy trophies, rips down the pictures, and declares, "I hate him. How could I have ever worshipped that super rat?" He'll regret the day he stole the glory of Luthor. Later in the same story, Lex even tries to kill Superboy with kryptonite, but Superboy barely manages to snatch the last few drops of the antidote away from him, saving his own life and cementing their rivalry for decades to come. And there you have it, the tragic, twisted origin of Lex Luthor's obsession with destroying Superman, all from one botched lab rescue in a very unlucky baldness incident. Lex Luthor is widely regarded as the smartest human on Earth. And that's not just some throwaway title. This man goes head-to-head with Superman on a regular basis, with nothing but his brain. I mean, come on, let that sink in. Lex has zero superpowers, no flight, no heat vision, not even super speed on his taxes. Yet somehow, he's consistently one of the biggest threats Superman has ever faced. And why? Because Lex Luthor is just that smart.
Lex?
Hello? Good? Hi, hello, Lex, it is a pleasure. Ow! Wow, that is a good grip. You should not pick a fight with this person.
He manipulates global politics like a chessboard, builds tech that makes Iron Man suits look like Lego sets, and turns kryptonite into a whole science. This is a guy who says, "Who needs powers?" then proceeds to punk the strongest superhero in all of comics. But here's the twist that makes Lex even more fascinating. He could have been the world's savior. Yeah, world hunger, solvable, cancer, cured, crime, gone. If Lex had taken a different path, the DC universe might be a utopia right now. But no, he's too obsessed with one thing, proving he's better than Superman. That one obsession, that need to be seen as the greatest man alive, drives everything he does. It's Shakespearean, it's tragic, and it's terrifying. Oh, and let's not forget, this man has built powered suits, the AKA Sentinel One. Over the years, this thing has evolved. Alien tech, apocalyptic armor, reversed engineered Kryptonian systems. This isn't just a suit. It's a one-man war machine. It has rocket thrusters built into the boots for high-speed aerial combat, force fields, passive protection that shields even the exposed areas, arm-mounted defense capable of blocking super-strength punches, kryptonite arsenal, hidden weapons laced with Superman's greatest weakness. It's not as strong as Superman at full power, but with kryptonite weapons in play, suddenly the playing field gets real level, real fast. Like imagine Tony Stark with the ego of Elon Musk, the mind of Stephen Hawking, and the moral compass of a Bond villain. That's Lex Luthor. If you're enjoying the content, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. It really helps out the channel. Thanks for your support. At a young age, Michael Holt showed remarkable intelligence, reading and assimilating the works of Bohr, Einstein, Planck, and Feynman, the pantheon of theoretic physics. He studied advanced science, space and time, while other children struggled through Sesame Street. Holt displayed, as he called it, a natural aptitude for having natural aptitudes, easily picking up and retaining complex skills and abilities that other men spent their entire lives perfecting. Before he began his career as a superhero, he already possessed 14 PhDs, 2 in engineering and physics, including assorted doctorates and masters in degrees in law, psychology, chemistry, political science, computer science, rocket science, and mathematics. He was a self-made multimillionaire with a high-tech firm called Cyberware, later Holt Holdings Inc., and was a gold medal-winning Olympic decathlete. While contemplating suicide after the death of his mentally handicapped older brother and the accidental death of his wife and unborn child, Holt was met by the spirit of God's vengeance. Known as the Spectre, ironically, Holt is an atheist, who told him about Terry Sloan, the Golden Age superhero known as Mr. Terrific. Inspired by Sloan's life story, he took the name Mr. Terrific and later joined the current Justice Society of America, eventually serving as its chairman. He initially wore ordinary clothes and a leather jacket with Sloan's Fair Play emblem on the back. He currently wears a T-shaped mask, a black and white costume with red trim, and a collarless jacket in the same colors. The black sections of tunic and jacket forming a T, with Fair Play written on the sleeves and Terrific on the back. For a time, he acted as spokesperson for Telurco and consulted that company on industrial espionage and security matters, in exchange for that company helping fund a youth center Terrific had started. Holt has a friendly rivalry with Batman, his opposite number in the Justice League of America. Also, Michael Holt has encountered Terry Sloan twice through time travel, with Sloan expressing pride in having so worthy a successor. Holt has been noted as the most intelligent member of the JSA in its history, surpassing his predecessor. He describes himself as the third smartest person in the world. All right, let's talk raw intelligence, and not just solved a Rubik's Cube in the womb genius. We're talking about the third smartest human being on Earth, ranked in a universe where intellect is weaponized and measured in galactic threat levels. Think about that for a second. This is the same Earth that houses Lex Luthor, who can weaponize economic theory like a nuke. Batman, whose IQ might as well be classified as a national defense asset. And Brainiac-adjacent AI constructs that can rewrite reality algorithms. So being number 3 on that leaderboard? Yeah, that's not just impressive. That's terrifying. This guy doesn't just have knowledge. He has what I call a meta-savant brain. A mind tuned not just to learn, but to learn how to learn anything, instantly. Show him a neurosurgery manual, and he's in the OR performing procedures before most med students have scrubbed in. Quantum mechanics? Child's play. He was solving quantum paradoxes when most kids were still mastering the crayon box. He doesn't study fields of knowledge. He absorbs them. This is a man with a cosmic-level polymathic intellect, a brain that doesn't hit walls. It reprograms the walls and keeps walking. Now, shift gears to tactics and tech. This man isn't just brainpower with a pulse. He's a walking specter. You cannot track him. Not with satellites, not with radar, not with heat signatures, heartbeat sensors, or the kind of military-grade surveillance systems Batman personally helped design. Nothing sees him. He's the ghost in the machine, the ultimate blind spot in a world where eyes are everywhere. And then there are the T-spheres, those sleek, silent orbs that orbit him like mechanical moons. What are they? Imagine if Tony Stark built drones without ego. No speeches, no theatrics, just results. These things fly, fight, heal, cloak, and hack on a level that makes most tech look like Fisher-Price toys. They create holograms so convincing, they can trick telepaths. They can shift gravity fields. They can knock Black Adam off his feet and hold their own against Captain Marvel-level forces. They are adaptive war machines, tuned to a mind that never stops thinking 10 moves ahead. But let's be clear, he's not just hiding behind tech. He holds black belts in 6 martial arts. The man has trained his body like he trained his mind into a precision instrument of survival and combat. There's a story, legendary in certain circles, about how he once took down the Tomorrow Thief, a metahuman threat with no gear in the middle of the Arctic, with broken ribs using nothing but chemistry, a shard of ice, and sheer tactical brilliance. That's not luck. That's Batman-tier resourcefulness. Only colder. And then there's the T-mask, a piece of wearable genius that's part cloaking device, part nanotech filtration unit, part encrypted global comms hub. It lets him disappear in plain sight and scrub his presence from any digital, biological, or mystical tracking system. He can extend that invisibility field to others, turning entire teams into untraceable ghosts. Not even Brother Eye, the satellite AI that surveils every metahuman on the planet, can find him. This isn't just next-level stealth. This is what happens when genius evolves beyond detection, beyond confrontation, into pure strategic dominance. He's not just a man with a plan, he's the plan, rewritten in code, muscle, and mind. All right, let's break down this fight. Between Lex Luthor and Mr. Terrific, they're both iconic characters from DC Universe, and each brings something unique to the fight. Now, I'll analyze these 3 categories: intelligence, versatility, and psychological edge, to uncover who would win in a one-on-one fight. 1. Intelligence. Lex Luthor, widely considered the smartest human alive. This dude isn't just an inventor, he's an apex manipulator. We're talking applied sciences, economics, political scheming, and long-term chess games against Superman himself. Lex builds tech that rivals Kryptonian science. Let that sink in. Now on the flip side, we've got Mr. Terrific, ranked as the third smartest man on Earth. And here's the kicker. Holt has a meta-savant brain. He doesn't just study something, he instantly absorbs it and applies it. His intellect isn't just about knowing, it's about adapting on the fly. In a fight, he literally evolves as the battle unfolds. Edge, Mr. Terrific. Lex is specialized, but Holt universalizes. His mind is built for combat adaptability. 2. Versatility. Lex Luthor. His versatility comes strapped in a battlesuit. The Sentinel-1 armor? Absolute beast. Energy shields, kryptonite weapons, alien reverse engineering. Basically a flying fortress that lets him trade blows with Superman, but strip him of the suit and he's just a man with a god complex. Mr. Terrific's versatility is insane. His T-spheres can manipulate gravity, project hard-light holograms, jam telepaths, generate force fields, hack entire systems, and fight autonomously. On top of that, he's a martial artist with 6 black belts, completely untraceable thanks to his ghost tech, and tactical enough to hang with Batman. He's a Swiss Army knife wrapped in genius. Edge, Mr. Terrific. Lex has firepower, but Holt bends around every attack and counters with options Lex can't predict. Lastly, psychological edge, Lex Luthor. His mind is his deadliest weapon and his Achilles heel. Lex's obsession with being better than Superman pushes him beyond human limits. But that ego, it blinds him. He underestimates anyone not wearing a cape. Against Holt, that arrogance could backfire, but his ruthless cunning, his willingness to play dirty, keeps him lethal. Mr. Terrific. Holt is calm, rational, and disciplined. The loss of his wife and unborn child forged him into a man of pure focus. He doesn't let ego drive him. He plays the long game with icy precision. But compared to Lex, he lacks that feral survival instinct, the pathological spite that makes Lex so unpredictable. Edge, Lex Luthor. Terrific is logical, but Lex is cunning. Holt fights smart. Lex fights dirty. And in psychology, that dirt gives him the edge. And with all these, Mr. Terrific wins.